Yes, very good morning, children. All of you welcome to the seventh standard. That is what civics chapter we have been discussing. That is understanding democracy. As a part of understanding democracy, so far we have seen what was the origin of democracy. The word democracy has been originated from the Greek word demokratia, which means ruled by the people, and even we have seen the literal meaning of democracy, and next we have seen that where was its origin. The first origin you can see regarding democracy was that particularly in Greek cities, that is Athenian democracy. The father of Athenian democracy was, that is what, Clisthenes. That also we have seen. And after that, what were the other important developments took place? In what way democracy actually spread throughout the world, that we have seen. In that, the first important one, Glorious Revolution, which was also called Bloodless Revolution in 1688, that was in England, and particularly the revolution which ended the absolute powers of the king, and which questioned the divine rights of the king, and even which gave importance for the rights of the people. And after that, you have seen the French Revolution, the revolution which gave the slogans of equality, liberty, and also fraternity, and even which has given one of the important principles, that is rule of law. And again, you have seen American Revolution, that is 1791, which gave Bill of Rights, and through that the people began to enjoy rights. And after American Revolution, you have seen Industrial Revolution which created two important classes, that is capitalist class and middle class. And that middle class only in the recent, and in the, that is what, in the past particularly, which played important role in so many revolutions. After that Industrial Revolution, we have seen the First and Second World War, that is in the 1914 to 1918 First World War, 1939 to 1945 Second World War. Through that, after First and Second World War, so many new independent nations emerged. That what we discussed in the previous class. Now, what are the types of government? Let us see the types of government. In that, you are going to see one is monarchy, and the another one is dictatorship, authoritarian government, what was communist government, all we are going to see. Remember, what are the types of governments here? Number one, monarchy. Number two, dictatorship. Number three, authoritarian government. And number four, communist government. These four types you have to understand. So why they have explained here the types of governments? Because you cannot find the same kind of governments throughout the world in all countries. In one country, if you find dictatorship, in another country you may find other type of government. In some countries you may find monarchy. In some countries you may find dictatorship. In some countries you find authoritarian government. In some countries you find communist governments. That's why we have to understand what are the different types of governments. So here the first important one is monarchy. Just try to understand the meaning of monarch. Monarch means the person who has got more powers. The person who believes himself and who actually implements his own idea. The person who may not take, who may not consider the wishes of others, decisions of others. So here the monarch, that is the head of a country, he inherits his position from the elders. Particularly the monarch inherits his position. Inherits means what? He get that position from whom? From others. From others in the sense maybe his elders. He is not elected by the people. Understood? So if X came to in the power of Y died. So in the place of Y who came? X came. This X is not elected by people. That is called inheritance. Understood? So the monarch, the person who is the head of the country, he inherits his position. That means he gets the position from his elders. So that is what a monarchy. He is not elected by the people. Understood? Then this type of monarchy you can see two types: constitutional monarchy, absolute monarchy. What is constitutional monarchy? In this constitutional monarchy, the position and the powers of the monarch is completely defined by the position is ceremonial. The position is ceremonial. Ceremonial means what? Formal. Formal means just for formality. He cannot exercise all powers. He has to depend on others. That position is defined by whom? Constitution. So according to constitution, he is the head, but he cannot exercise the real powers. That is called constitutional monarchy. I hope you understood what is constitutional monarchy means. In a constitutional monarchy, there is monarch, but his position is ceremonial. His position is ceremonial. He is formal. He is a formal head. That's all. He cannot exercise his all powers. He has to depend. Even while taking decisions also he has to depend on others. That is called ceremonial. So all that is his position, his rights, all are defined by whom? The constitution of that country. Such type of monarchy is what? A constitutional monarch. Which countries you can find such constitutional monarchy means? In Bhutan, Japan, England. In these countries you can find constitutional monarchy. Just take England. In England, if you find the head of the country, either king or queen, he has no absolute powers. Just he is the nominal head. He depends on all the decisions are taken by not the king or queen. All the decisions are taken by the prime minister. Even while taking decisions, after taking decision, if prime minister sends for the approval of the king or queen, just they have to sign. That's all. They cannot question. In such a way, you can see Bhutan, Japan, and England. These are the examples for which monarchy? Constitutional monarchy. Understood? So, in that way, you can see the first type of monarchy. The second type is absolute monarchy. In case of absolute monarchy, the monarch is the head of state as well as government. He is the head of both the state and the government. Understood? And he has the supreme authority in taking decisions. He has the supreme authority. No one can question him. Why you have taken such decisions? No one can question him. In such a way, the monarch, particularly in absolute monarchy, has the absolute authority. He can take his own decisions. Examples are Saudi Arabia and Oman are the good examples for the absolute monarchy. Understood? So here, I hope you understood the difference. Here, the head is nominal, but here the monarch is real. Here he has to depend on others, but here he can take all decisions by himself. He won't depend on others. Examples are Saudi Arabia and Oman. So this is the first important type of government. Now let us see what is dictatorship. Yes, children. So previously what we have seen, the first type of government, that is monarchy, and in that monarchy we have seen two types. One is constitutional monarchy and second one is absolute monarchy. And next other type of government, see here, that is dictatorship. Who is called dictator? The person who rules, who administers the entire country according to his wish. That type of government is called, that type of person is called dictator, that type of government is called dictatorship government. So in dictatorship, the absolute, or the meaning of dictatorship is absolute rule by one person or small group of people. So here, all powers are exercised by whom? All powers are exercised by one person, either one person or group of people. Okay, one person or group of people actually administer or rule the entire country. This is first important one you have to understand. And in this dictatorship type of government, the citizens have no right. The citizens don't enjoy any kind of rights. The citizens cannot participate in the governance. They cannot participate in the administration like in democracy. And even sometimes the such type of leadership you can find military leadership also. So in case of the dictatorship, in case sometimes those countries may be headed by military also. That time military only rule the entire country. So many times you can observe the history of Pakistan. If you observe the history of Pakistan, so many times that country was passed under the rule of military. Understood? So sometimes that dictatorship may take other form, that is rule of military. Understood? So in that situation, the freedom of people and the freedom of press and even the freedom of judiciary, those are all restricted. Those have no power. Even the press, even the newspaper also, newspapers cannot write against the ruler. They cannot write against the ruler. Their freedom has been curtailed. Their freedom has been completely banned. Particularly in case of dictatorship type of government, example they have given Libya. And even you can write another example also, that is Iraq golden days. That is Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was a great dictator, and you can find the rule of Saddam Hussein in Iraq. And that example also you can write under the dictatorship. And Libya they have been according to textbook. So children, try to understand what is dictatorship. In dictatorship of the government, what do you find? Absolute rule by one person or group of people, and that is not limited by the constitution. That means these people need not to follow the constitution. His position is completely defined by himself. And also in this type of government, citizens have no right. And sometimes the dictatorship may take other form also, that is military leadership. Whenever the military leadership starts rule the entire country is under the control of military. And the freedom of press, the freedom of people, freedom of press and judiciary, all those have been completely stopped and generally curtailed. And example is Libya. Now coming to the authoritarian government. Authoritarian government means what? The government where you find unlimited power for the government. There is unlimited power for the government, and citizens have no right to participate in the process of governance. In the authoritarian government, what will happen? The government which is ruling the entire country exercises absolute powers, more powers, and that government actually don't give any access, don't give any entrance, don't allow people to participate in the process of governance. And this authoritarian government also called totalitarian regime or rule. Totalitarian regime or rule. The best example is, that is what North Korea. What is the example for this authoritarian government? North Korea. Understood? So that is what another important the type of government. Now, what is communist government? So in case of communist government, here I have written the different form of government, communist government. In this form of government, the means of production. That means what we require to do production? We require labor, we require land, we require capital, we require organization. All those means of production are generally owned by people. These are all under the control of whom? People. And the main aim of this government, why should we keep all the means of production under the control of people? In order to give greater equality, in order to see the greater equality in the society. And you can see, sir, even this communist government is also called social government, socialist government, and example is China. What is that? That is what socialist government. This communist government is also called socialist government. Understood? So try to understand this communist government. In this communist government, all the means of production, that means either may be a land or labor, those may be under the control of those are all owned by people. Those are not owned by the private people, but not government. Those are all owned by the people. And this, in order, why should we keep all the means of production under the control of people? In order to see greater equality in the society. And this communist government is also called socialist government. According to our textbook, that is China is the example for the communist government. So olden days you can find more examples for communist governments, like even USSR also, like Cuba also, once upon a time, which actually enjoyed the communist government. But nowadays you find very few examples for communist governments. According to our textbook, they have given example for that is communist government, that is China. Understood? Now let us see the types of dictatorship, not dictatorship, democracy. The types of democracy now. Yes, children. So previously what we have seen? We have seen the first important types of government. Under types of government, the first one is monarchy. Under monarchy, two types: constitutional monarchy, absolute monarchy. And again, under dictatorship, what was dictatorship? Who is considered dictator? That also we have seen. Next, authoritarian government. Next, communist government. Now let us see other type of government, that is democratic form of government. In democracy, even we have seen all the details of democracy. Under democracy itself, we can find some types again: representative democracy, parliamentary democracy, and presidential democracy. So what is representative democracy? Representative democracy is the most popular form of the government in the world. That means most of the countries in the world are actually adopting, implementing this type of government. Which type of government? Representative government, representative democracy. So in this representative democracy, what actually people do? People cast their votes. For what purpose they cast their votes? To elect their representatives. So these representatives, they form the government. So first what happened? First people cast their votes to the representatives. Again all representatives form the government. Here they are not telling that representatives belong to particular party. Understood? Of course. So they may belong to one party or they may belong to different parties. Understood? So in this representative democracy, what will happen? This is the most popular form of government in the world, and in this type of government, people cast their vote and the votes to whom? To elect the representatives. The representatives only form the government. And next one, parliamentary democracy. Representative democracy of parliamentary democracy. See here, in this parliamentary democracy, generally the government is formed by a party, particular party. The party which has got the greatest representation in the parliament. Understood? So in the parliamentary form of government, what will happen? The government is formed by a party, a particular party. Which type of party? What is that party? The party which has got the greatest representation in the parliament. Take for example, in 2019 elections also we have seen that the one form which party is actually, that is NDA. National Democratic Alliance. What is NDA? National Democratic Alliance. National Democratic Alliance is ruling our country now. So has NDA emerged a greatest representative party in the parliament in 2019. That is, we have elected, and these people only formed the government. Before NDA, NDA 1 was there, and before NDA, UPA was there. That is, United Progressive Alliance was there. In that way, the party which emerged the greatest representative party in the parliament, that party only forms the government. So that is very important. Next, in this parliamentary democracy, in this type of government, you can see one important feature. What is the important feature? Here in the parliamentary democracy, you can find president as well as prime minister, but president is a ceremonial head. Already we discussed it. Ceremonial head means what? Nominal head. Nominal head means what? He cannot exercise, he cannot take independent decisions. He has to depend on others. Understood? So here the president is nominal head or ceremonial head, but who will exercise the absolute powers means prime minister only enjoys the absolute powers. And whenever the decisions are made by the prime minister, those decisions are to be accepted by the president in case of a parliamentary form of democracy. That you have to understand. Okay, now finally you have to understand our country is following which type of government means parliamentary form of democracy. Parliamentary democracy is being adopted, being implemented in our country. That you have to understand. So this is parliamentary democracy. Next, what is presidential democracy? The main difference between parliamentary democracy and presidential democracy is, in this presidential democracy, the president only head of the state as well as government. In the parliamentary democracy, the president is the head of state, not for the government. Here, in case of presidential democracy, the president enjoys absolute powers. He can take all decisions. He will not depend on others. He takes decisions and those decisions will be implemented. But in India, the president cannot take decisions. The prime minister only takes the decisions, and finally, whenever the president accepts for the decisions of the prime minister, those will come under implementation. But in case of presidential democracy, as he is the head of the government as well as the state, he exercises more powers, and even he is elected by the people. He will not come through hereditary. He is elected by the people. And the another important difference between the parliamentary democracy and presidential democracy, here you may not find prime minister, but here you can find prime minister. Then what is the term of president here? The term of the president here, particularly in India, the term of the president is 5 years. What is the term of the president in USA? That is only 4 years. That is the other important difference you have to find between India and USA, I am telling you. And here, if a person can be elected number of times as president. But here, in case of presidential democracy in USA, only one time or 2 times. A person can become president only twice. Not possible to elect the next time. Understood? So only 2 times. But in India, a person may become president number of times. There is no limitation. But in USA, a president can become the head of the state only twice. Understood? So I hope what we have discussed today, that is types of government, and the types of government: monarchy, and the next one dictatorship, authoritarian government, communist government, And again, under the types of democracy, we have seen representative democracy, parliamentary democracy, and presidential democracy. I hope children you understood different types of democracy as well as governments, and try to answer the worksheet. And even if you get doubt, you better to have a habit of reading textbook. So see the understanding democracy chapter in your textbook, and watch the video once again and try to answer all the questions. Thank you.